Okay.
So if the man chooses to take off, that is his own decision, and Nigeria should not be the one that will put. Is it a cause?
If I may come in here, Mr. Wilcox. Mr. Sharma, some activists called for a medical committee to be set up to find out the exact status of the president's health. What's your position on that? And then we've had people say that the president's health is his private matter.
No. I disagree completely. It's not his private matter. He works for us. We employed him. And so he owes that duty. When people talk about privacy, we also are not able to truly understand what you work in channels. And you don't just sit at home and tell your boss that the doctor says I should sit at home. You must also follow it up with a medical report to say, this is what's wrong with me. And that's why even when you, unfortunately, our politicians come to office without medical tests. But for you to work in an organization, even to play football, you do medical tests. You must be certified. But that's on our side. The president owes that duty as his employer. He came to us, he begged us for employment. And we employed him through our votes. So people should understand. So when it comes to the issue of privacy, that's why as a public officer, there's a level. Your privacy is taken away. That you hear them say, look, I can no longer do the things I used to do because of the office that I occupy. So medically also, it is not a private thing to people that employed you. We employed him. That's on one side. And then secondly, what is obvious is obvious. In one breath, you say it is the same presidency. In another breath, you say, no, the vice president didn't achieve much. Nobody is saying it's not the same. It's one and the same. That's why you must have a running mate in case you have situations like this. And nobody expects a 70-something years old man to be as fit as 20-something or 40-something years man. But the issue here is we should learn to create a divorce between public office and personal office. When you occupy public office, it demands a lot from you. And at that age, you look at, I was watching your soundbite, looked at Alhaji Lai Mohammed, I felt for him. Today you say the president looked at the roster, that you came to chambers, he wasn't there. And then you started telling us what he did. You know, how do you reconcile that? He looked at the roster, he felt it was light, he didn't come. And then the next one, he was working from home. He said the vice president should, and then the third one, he's incapacitated, and so doctor said he should rest. Nobody is saying the president cannot be sick. We're praying for him to be okay. But what we are saying is, look, as it is, even investors' confidence, they'll be undecided. Should we not? Look at what happened to the stock market 72 hours, 72 minutes after the president went to Jumat service. So these are how you monitor the economic activities in the country. People are undecided. Should we invest or shouldn't we? And then also when the president, nobody is saying he didn't do the right thing. He did the right thing for the first time by handing over to his vice. And everybody gave him kudos for that. And so if the vice also, while away, head out properly, very well, why shouldn't we give him kudos? That we've seen the president delay in taking drastic decisions. But when the vice was acting, he built fences. And then also, you see, he was more proactive.
So in other words, are you saying President Buhari should step aside and the...
In other words, what I am saying, I am happy that he's traveling today to attend to his head because I want him alive. I want him to come back stronger the way he was when he started. But as it is obvious to everybody that the president is not as heady, even though they said he was hale and healthy, and the same man came out to tell you that I have never been this sick. How do you reconcile them? So we want him to take time, attend to your head. You have a capable vice. And so once you're away, we are sure and we know that that capable vice that you have, you will perform wonders. And that's why we are saying, look, Mr. President, as you are, from what we see, since you have refused to tell us what is wrong with you, even though you admitted that you were seriously ill, let your capable hands act while you go take care of yourself. Would that be too much to ask?
All right, breaking news has it that President Muhammadu Buhari has met with the 82 freed Chibok girls and he's off to the United Kingdom on medical vacation. While he's away, the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, will handle all government affairs on his behalf. President Muhammadu Buhari is off to the United Kingdom after meeting with the freed Chibok girls, and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo will be holding forth in his stead while he's away. Well, I will take another moment. When we come back, we'll look at the APC internal structure and President Muhammadu Buhari's health. Join us again. Welcome back to Sunday Politics. Well, President Muhammadu Buhari has met with 82 freed Chibok schoolgirls, and he is off to the United Kingdom on medical vacation. While he's away, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo will handle all government affairs on his behalf. Back to our conversation, Honorable Sadiq, how do you respond to insinuations from within your party, the All Progressives Congress, that President Muhammadu Buhari has not paid enough attention to the inner workings of the party and has not been able to bring together the party leadership in the executive and the legislature? What's your response to that?
My response to that is that in all times, I try to be dispassionate in the way I look at things. APC is my party. It is the vehicle I drove from Fufore and Song Federal Constituency to come to Abuja. I have driven a similar bus before then to power. I was in the National House of Assembly for 8 years. What we've been used to under the former party, the PDP, that we left for the alliance in APC, is that as soon as we finish the presidential election, we call for national convention. There will be zonal congresses from, congresses from the wards, congresses from the state, zonal congresses at zonal level, and then the national convention at the center in Abuja. That has not been done. Number two, party people, we know that some of us have left the party, there are some who have died, there are some who have decamped, and there are those who, for whatever reason, have shown no interest in politics any longer. But their names remain in the register of the party as party executives. Okay. There are also some who have been appointed into certain government offices, but their names are still there in the register as members of the executive of the party who ordinarily they ought to have resigned. Let us all admit, and it is the fact, that the president has not given the party the attention that it desired. This I stand to be corrected. But, and this is a very serious but, how did we come into power? We came into power in the midst of crisis. We are almost at war in this country, and there is every need for us to be cautious. Congresses are things that require a lot of money, and we do not have to, when people cannot fit, spend so much money to bring in people to Abuja, pay for hotels, pay for their allowances, and do congresses. That we have to admit. On the one hand, the president was slow in doing that. Perhaps if he had done that when he was healthy and as the usual way we used to have it in the, under the PDP, perhaps there would have been no problem. But I must admit the fact that really the president has not been up and doing as far as attention to the party is concerned. All right,
Honorable Sadiq, I'll ask you one final question about the All Progressives Congress, the party. But before we proceed, let me just read you a statement from the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity. Well, President Muhammadu Buhari proceeds to London tonight for follow-up medical consultation with his doctors. He had planned to leave on Sunday afternoon, but decided to tarry a bit due to the arrival of 82 Chibok girls who arrived Abuja earlier in the day. The President wishes to assure all Nigerians that there is no cause for worry. He's very grateful for the prayers and good wishes of the people and hopes they would continue to pray for peace and unity of the nation. The length of the President's stay in London will be determined by the doctors. Governments will continue to function normally under the able leadership of the Vice President. President Buhari has transmitted letters about the trip to the Senate and House of Representatives in compliance with Section 145, subsection 1 of the 1999 Constitution. Well, I'll have to thank you, Honorable Sadiq Ibrahim, for joining us on Politics, Sunday Politics, and Mr. Libras Oshoma and Alesta Wilcox for joining us and sharing your thoughts with us on the program. Well, that's Sunday Politics. Very many thanks for being great company. On behalf of the production team, I'm Imana Amawe. Bye-bye.